Hello, friends. Today I'm going to discuss along with you about the job application trap. It is being said in LinkedIn reports that approximately seven people get hired every minute. Okay, which is like in 16 seconds, seven folks get a job through its platform, which is indicating a steady flow of hires and successful job placements. However, the statistic does not quantify or specify how many applications it takes to find a job, to get a job offer, to get successfully placed. There have been candidates, and not just one, there have been numerous who have reported that they have applied more than 600, 700 job applications. And somewhere a poll also suggested that 30% of the respondents had secured jobs through LinkedIn, which also suggests that 70% have not found success despite using the platform for job searching. And it's an ongoing debate. It is a debate which needs attention, which needs thoughtful consideration, because a job seeker spend numerous amount of time in job applications, and those easy apply buttons are a killer. Trust me. And yes, there are factors that attributes to a successful job offer, and also affects the success, which is high competition. Definitely there. There's a lot of take on profile optimization, but eventually there are questions that have been asked upon, and that's are reflected in the DMs and everywhere. So the very first question that comes to mind is, how can I identify which job opportunities are truly worth my time and effort to apply for? Now this is an interesting question. That is it worth your time? Is it worth the effort that is required, needed? Yes, that's what it is. A job application needs to be measured, evaluated, thought through as to why one should apply to it. So, so one must be very clear about their career goals. They have to align their career goals, focus on the roles in terms of long-term objectives. If your long-term objectives are not ascertained, they are not laid out, then this would become much more challenging aspect. So the very first point one needs to focus while identifying any job opportunity, that is it concurrent, is it in the direction towards your long-term goal. The second aspect is matching your skills and expertise. That is very critical. Nobody is going to hire someone who does not match the skills or expertise or experience. So ensure that one is meeting the basic defined lines that have been there in written, which can be measured. Now this is the third point, is very critical, friends. It's about company reputation and culture. And most of the time we can go through their websites, we can go through LinkedIn profiles, Facebook pages, and Instagram, that often does not replicate the culture or the reputation. You need to dig deep. You need to ask through fellow co-workers, or not co-workers, I beg your pardon. You need to identify people in that organization and reach out to them and see whether their thought process, or as a matter of fact, whether they concur or they are in agreement to the working culture. So you can write it down that you have been working here for 2 years, 3 years. Why you are here? Is it the culture? Is it the package? Is it that you just have to have a job to put food on the table? Most of the time, people haven't found their why, and they are doing for the sake of, they have to have a job, they have to put food on the table. So eventually this answer runs very deep. It cannot be ascertained when you speak about culture. The values, the aspects need to be out there in the open. It need to be clear, it need to be checked upon, and that needs to be defined, and you need to be very clear if those values and aspirations are in line with your needs and requirement. There are organizations who showcase a lot of culture, but in depth they do not have that. The fourth and foremost point coming to this is growth opportunities. Now, there might be positions which are very lucrative in the beginning, where they might be offering you higher package, but you need to see it down the line whether this will provide you the ample growth that you're looking towards. There are folks that they have told me they've got 30, 50, 60, 70% of high. In the next 3, 4 years with that organization, they haven't. So, and in just not in terms with money, in terms of overall growth, which is, are you learning enough that after 4, 5 years you move into the leadership roles or the roles that you're looking towards, whether they're offering professional development or not. That's the point. And unfortunately or fortunately, you can have a take on that. Job descriptions clarity is a very key aspect. There are a lot of job descriptions, they are so much beautifully laid out, such jazzed up job descriptions that does not speak the reality of the job that is one is supposed to undertake. And it is very unfortunate that most of the job descriptions are being copied and pasted, and now with the AI and all that, it's a classic case that now an artificial intelligence tool would get the job description done, but where is the job analysis behind it? Where's the requirement behind it? So you need to drill down with the recruiter as to why this position has come into existence. Is it a fill up job? And if somebody was already in that role, why they've moved on, and what are the bare minimum expectations? The recruiter needs to have that clarity to have bring in the confidence in the candidates. There's the repo building is very important. Most unfortunately aspect is that, especially in terms of agency recruiters, I'm not speaking of corporate recruiters, and it is worldwide. A lot of candidates would agree to me that agency recruiters, and I'm speaking of Indian markets here, the pitch is very dull. It's very boring. Are you looking out for a job? Obviously, I'm not looking for a burger or a patty on a job portal. The pitch needs to be there. It needs to be direct. It needs to be empathetic. It needs to be drilled down to the very essence that why somebody is looking out for a job change. What is that for that candidate, that for that job seeker that is not working out in their current organization? And what they're looking out in their next employer, in the next organization. This needs to be very much clear down. The recruiter plays such an integral part. They are the brand ambassadors, they are the marketers. They're not just recruiters, they are the bridge. They are the people who start the onboarding process before it has begun. You hire one person and you reject 9 people out of 10 that you have interviewed. Those 9 people are gonna go out into the job market and will share their experience. Make that experience worth their time, worth their effort, worth your time and your effort. That's the bottom line. And that's not because the Rock, the Dwayne Johnson said so. It is a matter of fact that if you want to bring strong ethos into your recruiting practices, your recruiter is the key person. They need to be enabled. They need not be just empowered with a device and a job portal. They need to be mentored, trained meticulously in the direction where they are the real presenters of the core values and ethos of the organization, so that the candidates, job seekers understand what is out there in terms of professional development, in terms of the job roles and responsibilities. It should be cleared down. It should not be just, okay, I need to hire this person. I need a senior quantity surveyor. He needs this experience. I need a PHP developer. I need an HR executive. Not like that. You need to define it more. The more in-depth conversation needs to go about it. So job description clarity, there's a lot of back into it. There's a lot of ingredients in that dish. It takes time, perseverance, my friends. Perseverance is the key to a good hire. And second questions that few folks have brought about, that what are the some strategies to tailor my application to make it stand out in a small pool of quality applications? It's a very interesting, very good question, but a very difficult one, because it's a smaller pool of quality applications. Unfortunately, if there are 1,000 applications pouring in for a particular job opportunity, the quality would certainly not be there. There are a lot of tools which would make your resume. There are a lot of resume writing services available from big shot job portals in India, and with great resume writers. But unfortunately, these are paid services, and they will do the job for you. They will give you a good smacking resume, which you would take out and take the printout and go for it. Before you take out the printout, you will have a digital copy which you'd be sharing across on various job portals and on XYZ platforms to so far to put forward your interest in any positions and any job opportunities that you seem fit. The point is, somebody else has customized for you. They even have done a personalized cover letter. They have used and keywords, incorporated terms from the job description, past applications which you might have shared, and they would have quantified your achievements, your progress that you have done over the years, and somewhere align your values and express how your values match to that of the organization, and so forth and so on. But my dear friends, when once you get that opportunity, how you gonna transcend something that has been written by someone else in your words, in your essence, in your truest form? And that's where the game changes. If somebody else has written a resume or something for me, how does that gonna be a defining moment when it comes to in-person interviews? So just to tailor your applications, the strategies are very basic. You customize a resume, you do the cover letter. I'm not sure how many people in India read cover letters these days. We can certainly run a poll on that. You can let me know in the comment section too. Keywords are important. Make sure you use right set of keywords. Once during my first job, when I was hiring for various clients in the industries, and they were very big shot into the real estate, hospitality. So I was hiring for senior quantity server back then, 2011. I'm speaking of 2000, not even 11. It's about 2008 and 9. And I had mentioned all the positions that I was catering to. And when I was looking out for a job, I was getting opportunities, job opportunities of senior quantity service. So you have to be mindful, very mindful of what sort of keywords you use. So do a lot of research on that. And achievements are very much important. And achievements should not be in terms of what you deemed as an achievement. It has to be retrospective in terms of what the organization that you're applying to, what they see as an achievement. I might be a um, winner in certain things, but that's not, that won't cut the chase. So you need to be very strategic in all these points that we have discussed. So, but again, the real game comes when you have been asked to come for an interview, and how you gonna do that transition, because that resume has been written by somebody else. So you need to be thorough with that piece of paper, and have a good quality piece of paper, because it's all about experiences. When an interviewer takes your resume in their hands, the feel must be different. That is how you separate yourself from the others. So have a different piece of paper used for your better quality than the usual ones we get a resume on. It's how you create a distinction, very small point, but that makes a difference, because the recruiter or the interviewer, every hour they would be flipping so many pages. And yes, there would be a time where your resume comes in their hands, and the quality and the feel and the look of it is entirely different. Their experience entirely changes. So, how I effectively research a company to ensure it is a good fit for my skill and career goals before applying. So, these are very basic questions, but basics are the fundamentals of any topic, any subject. So, company website is a go-to tool. Do read recent news, where they have been the news, what they have been doing recently, what they have to say about the changing industry trends. That will give you a foresight into how this company is looking to shape up in that particular industry. Go for check employee reviews. Those are great, those are fun to do with, and because then employees are unfiltered, and they would write really nasty, humorous, sarcastic reviews, but you need to understand and find your way among those waves of reviews that are there on various uh, portals. Network is the key and point. You go with connect with few of the colleagues, uh, not colleagues, with folks that are working already in that organization, see why they're there, and understand the industry standing, understand their position in the market, and try to assess how they would be in a particular future, let's say 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. So there's a lot of work that you need to put upon, because these questions are basic, but again, that determine the entire event of your career direction in that particular essence of time where you're looking to make a move, or you don't have a job and you have to find a new one, but you don't want these aspects creeping in, these challenges which were earlier with your previous organization transcending into the next organization. So again, you will be caught in the same hole, and your mental health would be again going out for a toss. So what's the point? So make sure you strategize, you plan. And there was one question which says, what indicator should I look for in a job posting to decide if it is a quality position or just another generic opportunity? Oh, that's a good one. If it's a generic opportunity, you would know, because the more detailed job description, that's one parameter. But again, I would go back to my own comments that I made previously, that detailed job description just a one prompt away now. So that clearly goes out for a toss. Clear qualifications. So what exactly they're looking in terms of hiring practices. In fact, it's the hiring practices. So you need to understand their hiring practices in shorter span of time, and transparency, how much transparency is being maintained throughout the process, gives speaks a lot about the organization, and how well written their posting is, what is the level of professionalism, how is the recruiter talking to you, how much they are in that particular process with you, how quick they are to respond, how much is your rapport with the recruiter. So there are multiple factors that can definitely come into play. What timelines they take to respond back to your messages, your WhatsApp, your emails. That's a very critical aspect. And benefits. It's a very good indication to measure. Uh, some organizations can match your salary, but when it comes to benefits, it define two things. One is their capacity in their thought process, and as well as their seriousness towards it. Okay, so the benefit section gives a good insight. Okay, there's one more interesting question. This would be the last one, friends. How can focusing on fewer, more targeted applications improve the chances of landing interviews in office? So here, this question is the answer in itself. It's all about quality. So if you have tailored your job application, then it is would be standing out among the rest of the applications, which are pretty much generic. So yes, the chances increase a lot. It would also give you a time for better preparation, since you are putting so much of effort in improving the quality of the application. You're preparing yourself, you're doing a lot of research, you are customizing it, and it has a more stronger alignment towards the skills, your skills and the job requirements. And Yes, while you are at it, it's an efficient use of time. It would also be a factor where you would be focused towards more enhanced networking rather than a generic networking. So yes, do this is an opportunity to build relationship with recruiters, and that's the point. So we can say that LinkedIn remains a popular tool for job searching in India, but the success rate varies here, okay, significantly based on factors of competition, profile quality, and networking efforts. But nonetheless, there are aspects which one needs to consider in terms of personalization do matters, research is the key. When you are doing networking, it has to be meaningful, because quality, you should invest time in quality, okay, and you need to break free from this trap. You need to audit your own applications. You have to take a moment. That easy apply button is a killer. I will let you know that in a while. And even if I don't, there is a high possibility that a quality focused, tailor specific application would garner you an interview rather than an easy apply button. So craft a standout resume. And this is the one of the difficult and the most devious of challenges that one individual can be focused upon. I agree that you can be good at your job, but crafting a good resume is a very arduous, it's a very difficult, cumbersome job. It's a clerical job, which usually we don't want to do it. We want to get up running with the opportunities and the applications, but we don't want to put effort towards that. But that's a gruesome reality. One needs to do that, and just focus on your mental well-being, because when you're looking out for a job change, and job change can be a reason where you have been laid off, or there have been brutal conflicts at your workplace, and your mental health is already taken a toss. So please focus on that. Avoid burnouts. Too much job applications can have a very much negative impact on you, where you will think, I've applied to 200, 500 applications and I'm not receiving any replies from them. This can just, you know, take your mental well-being out of contention, focus. So relax. Thinking too much never helps. Just lay down all these long term, all these major goals you have, put it in short aspects, put it in smaller points, and try to achieve them. And that's the reality of it. That's the bottom line. Thank you so much for being a part of this Q&A, or a small podcast, which is being, I'm trying to be as unfiltered as I can. And just a few words. Recruiters need to be empathetic towards candidates. You need to understand that somebody who is looking out for a job needs just more than a job. And this is where you can differentiate among an average recruiter and an awesome recruiter. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for joining in. Do let me know in the comment section that what kind of topics you'd like me to cover and discuss, and I'll definitely take those up in my coming videos and podcasts. Thank you so much for staying the course. Appreciate it. Bye bye.